will illustrate just how perplexing the existence of naturally occurring drugs really is, while also serving as a useful introduction to our species' venerable quest for medicine. If we relegate alcohol to the status of a beverage, then the oldest known medicine is something that you and I and almost every person in Western civilization has imbibed at some point in our lives: the tincture of the poppy. Percocet, morphine, codeine, oxycodone, and, of course, heroin are all derived from Papaver somniferum, a wild plant with attractively colored flowers common to Asia Minor. Opium is the active ingredient of the poppy, and one reason the drug has been used for so long is because opium is incredibly easy to prepare. The immature fruit of the poppy plant is scratched so that sap oozes out. The sap is collected, dried, and ground into a powder, and voila, pure opium. Opium was used by the Sumerians as early as 3400 BC, who referred to it as hulgil, the joy plant. The Sumerians passed along their knowledge of the joyful effects of the poppy to the Assyrians, who passed it on to the Babylonians, who passed it to the Egyptians. The first known reference to poppy juice appears in the writings of the Greek philosopher Theophrastus in the 3rd century BC. The word opium comes from the ancient Greek word for juice, opion. Later, Arabian traders introduced opium to Asia, where it was used in the treatment of dysentery, an often fatal disease characterized by explosive diarrhea. In addition to its narcotic effects, opium is also highly constipating. One major limitation of opiates as a medication is their poor solubility in water. After 4,000 years of repeating the same simple water-based preparation of opium, many physicians in the Middle Ages attempted to develop a more effective formulation. These men represented one of the earliest breeds of drug hunters, the formulator, someone who tried to figure out a new way to prepare a known medicine. These formulators relied upon crude knowledge of pre-scientific chemistry, the pseudoscience of alchemy, or indiscriminate experimentation to develop new mixtures that often contained as many non-active compounds as active agents. Paracelsus, a 16th century botanist physician, was one of the most talented of the formulator drug hunters. He devised a novel preparation of opium by dissolving it in alcohol. The preparation came to be known as laudanum, though Paracelsus himself was so enamored of its powers that he referred to it as the stone of immortality. His alcohol-based version of opium came close to pharmaceutical immortality, as it was still being used late into the 20th century. Another alcohol-based opiate mixture is known as paregoric. First formulated in the 18th century by Limor, a chemistry professor at the University of Leiden, paregoric is familiar to readers of Victorian novels because their heroines were frequently dosed with paregoric to calm frazzled nerves after some social drama, such as rejection by the handsome young baron. The word paregoric, in fact, comes from the Greek term for soothing. Dover's powder, another 18th century opium preparation, was invented by Thomas Dover in 1732. While scientists know Thomas Dover as an early pharmacologist, he became famous to the public through his other adventures. After studying medicine at Cambridge University, Dover settled in the English port city of Bristol and, at the age of 50, joined a privateering venture to the South Seas. In 1709, the expedition landed on a deserted island off the coast of Chile, except Dover and his party discovered that the island was not deserted after all. It was inhabited by Alexander Selkirk, the sole survivor of a shipwreck from 4 years earlier. Upon Selkirk's return to England, he became a celebrity, and his dramatic story inspired Daniel Defoe to write Robinson Crusoe. Upon Dover's own return to England, however, he invented Dover's powder, coarse off-white granules containing equal quantities of opium and ipecac, an ingredient once found in cough syrup. His newly acquired fame as Selkirk's rescuer surely did him no harm in marketing his new remedy. Opium itself is actually